Now, we know Drew's TV story tells the story of a woman who changes from a bored suburban housewife into a flesh-eating zombie. It did get us thinking about how much people change over the course of a relationship. It may not involve, obviously, transmogrifying into a flesh-eating zombie, but everyone changes, don't they?
Yeah, everyone changes. I mean, poor Jack, he never knows what martini's going to get. Is it going to be jazz hands? Is it going to be raw? You know, which one is he going to get? But at least I'm consistent in my inconsistency.
You see?
That's what I say,
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
And luckily, we've gone through loads of changes. I'm not going to say we haven't changed, but luckily at this time in our lives when we've met, we've kind of evolved and changed together.
Yeah.
And I think if you do, you stay together, and if you don't, then obviously you end up kind of going your own separate ways if you don't like each other's differences.
I think that's a really fair description. You know, I think it's unrealistic to expect people not to change throughout the course of their life. You're not going to be the same person as a teenager as you are in your 60s and 70s.
Hope not.
Everybody who knows me really well says I am exactly the same cross-patched, self-opinionated, self-centred person that I was the first day I started college at 18.
But do little things about you ever change? Like,
Well, obviously your bottom slides down for you. But in a relationship, do I change or they change?
Yeah.
No, they might change, but I'm still the same.
But do you know what I'd say about you is I think you got to 18 and you had already sorted out who you were in your own head, but you got there a lot earlier than the rest of us.
I'm still not there. Yeah, I'm still working on, like, who am I?
I'm working out to get you out the broom cupboard.
Why don't you just join me in the broom cupboard? Oh, well. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Well, I think that I wasn't fully formed at 18, but there's certain character traits that I've kept.
Yes.
Which is, I know what I want and what I don't want to do. I don't like queues. I didn't like standing in a queue when I was 18. I'm not going to stand in a queue now. And also, there are two ways of doing things, my way and the wrong way. And if you live with me, I'm afraid that's the scenario.
I get what you're saying. I definitely have traits and things about me that I know I've had since the day I can remember being me. But I feel like I change little things all the time. Like, I might meet somebody who's got a different perspective on life and I might then change some of my opinions.
Yeah.
Or
which is healthy, and that's good. You're making informed decisions.
I feel like I'm always changing. So, I mean, diet. You know, one day I'm like, I'm a clean eater. Next day I'm like, Joe, ring the pizza delivery guy. He never knows who I'm... So in my relationships, I think with not just my boyfriend, but my family and everyone around me, I'm always different. I'm always not really... I don't know. I don't
That's
think
not
I'm
something
ever
you
the
do on
same.
purpose. It's just the way you are.
Yeah.
You know, I always shock the hell out of myself.
Yeah, I think you evolve as a human. And then in terms of relationships, obviously going back to Drew Barrymore's programme, obviously I was 17 when I got together with my very first husband. Like, that's a really long list. There was the very first, the first, the half first. And I was 34 when we eventually split. Now, obviously during that time, people change. You touched on it, that it's good if you can change together and you grow, but that doesn't always happen. And obviously sometimes best to go your separate ways. Obviously, Drew Barrymore coped brilliantly with one of them in the relationship being a flesh-eating zombie. I'm not sure that would work in real life.
Now, I know there are loads of hilarious cat videos out there, but I promise these are even funnier. Take a look if you don't believe me.